Buddy, and today we are going to do the series of interesting excerpts or quotes from great books. And today our book is one of my favorite books, and I think it's a pinnacle of thought by Leonard Peikoff. And I'm going to give you a series of quotes, maybe 30, 50, as we go along from beginning to end, so that you'll be motivated to um, go through the whole book. First quote is from the first chapter, Integration, and I'll give it now. The fall of Western civilization, if it does fall, can be traced to its beginning. I do not mean that its beginning led to its end. I mean the opposite. Our rejection of our beginning is what is killing us. Simple point. Our beginning was the discovery of the West's distinctive principle, which is implicit in the work of Thales, the father of Western philosophy. The most famous of his four remaining sentences is all things are water. Earlier cultures had perceived a vast array of material objects, rivers, people, pots, corn stalks, stars, and grasped many differences among them, but they did not think nearly as much about similarities. It never occurred to them to ask whether there is a physical connection, a common ingredient or structure or pattern of action between pots and stars or between rivers and people. And today we have our education, laws, and all that. They never dreamed of asking whether there might be such connections uniting everything. Hence, the door to philosophy and science remained closed. Thales was the first one in recorded history to face the bewildering diversity of material objects and ask, do they all have something in common? Is there, is there an underlying similarity that unites into an intelligible whole, this riot of differences? And if so, what is it? A century later, Socrates, moving from physics to epistemology, carried the question to the field of language, the tool of thought, in regard to words central to philosophy, such as justice, knowledge, virtue, beauty. He and or Plato sought clarity by asking what is the common denominator uniting these various instances. What, for example, is the essence that makes all just acts, despite their many differences, instances of the same concept, the essential principle, the law. The Greeks soon came to formulate their quest for connections in abstract and immortal terms. What they asked is a one in the many, a question they soon pursued in a wide variety of areas unknown to Thales or Socrates. Like earlier societies, the Greeks observed many different objects, but then proceeded further. They used these observations as a base from which to abstract and thus to identify essentials and reach generalizations. We know this if you have gone through school education properly. This new appreciation of thought enabled them to theorize about every aspect of the universe, including its elements, its laws, and even the processes by which man came to gain that knowledge. So even philosophy became, what should I say, retrospectively means by which it understands itself through observations and through what is called induction. The pre-Greeks were the childhood of the human race. The Greeks were man the rational animal, starting to grow up. Beautiful, no? And that's Leonard Peikoff, the pinnacle of thought, Tim hypothesis.